Hello everyone and welcome to SmackDown, and we are kicking things off in big fashion already. Before the show even had the chance to go on the air, the Royal Rumble winner Ricochet has already stormed his way out here this evening. The Savior is in the building and he doesn't look a little bit pleased here tonight. And I think it has something to do with the groundbreaking news from Shawn Michaels last week that made Ricochet's WWE Championship match at WrestleMania a triple threat match between the Savior, the Blackheart, the WWE Champion himself, Tommaso Ciampa, and the third party, Jon Moxley. We have not even had a chance to get set up here for this edition of SmackDown, and the Savior is already in the building, and he has got something to say. And it is clear that Ricochet believes that the main event of WrestleMania has been stolen from him. Going a step further than that, accusing Shawn Michaels of being corrupted, saying that SmackDown doesn't want to be cleansed. The Savior's mindset has taken a complete 180 since the last time we heard him talking. He is irate and he is letting it out. And he is seeing that in his eyes, SmackDown and the WWE want Jon Moxley as WWE Champion, not the Savior in Ricochet. But it seems as if Ricochet is undeterred by it, telling them, bring on Moxley, bring on Ciampa. He is the Savior, and whatever happens, he will be the next WWE Champion. It seems as if the Ricochet believes the cards are being played against him, but it won't stop him on the grandest stage of the world. Forget about Jon Moxley for a moment. Tommaso Ciampa, the champion, blindsiding him. And Ciampa with a fairy tale ending. The WWE Champion laying at the Savior at the start of SmackDown and saying that it is all the fault of Ricochet. Whatever that may be, I don't know, but WrestleMania is only heating up. And it'll get bigger and bigger here tonight on this edition of SmackDown, as later on tonight Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch will fight for the opportunity to face Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship on the grandest stage of them all. And on top of that, for our main event of the evening, this man here, Roode, will finally get his opportunity to step into the ring with the Switchblade Jay White. Weeks of mind games come to an end here tonight, but first we throw to Michael Cole, who's standing by with Kazuchika Okada. Well, it has already been a interesting evening, shall we say, in terms of the discussions being brought here on SmackDown. Ricochet and Ciampa getting into it before the night could even get underway. And just then we heard from Kazuchika Okada himself, the Rainmaker, saying to him and Robert Roode, there's no team, there's just a mutual enemy. But they've got their own business to take care of, and Robert Roode will take care of his tonight alone. We'll see how things will unfold in our main event of the evening, but right now, folks, going to take you to a quick word that we got from Damien Priest earlier tonight ahead of his upcoming match with Becky. Fighting talk from 1/3 of Paradigm. He, of course, was alluding to Jon Moxley being added to the WWE Championship matchup last week. And now it's a chance for Damien Priest to get one step closer to the Intercontinental Championship as well, and to face Kota Ibushi for the title at WrestleMania. You get the feeling that in the eyes of SmackDown General Manager Shawn Michaels, the winner of this match will be facing Kevin Owens for the opportunity to face Kota Ibushi at the grandest stage of them all, and that is certainly going to be a tough opponent for whoever wins this one, and vice versa, as Kevin Owens has plenty of accolades, and I'm sure he'd love to have another title around his waist. But this is a man who has had a pretty damn good few weeks, from King of the Ring to refinding his mojo, and now looking to deliver on it in the best way that he can. Big E heading towards the ring here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to fight. Same can be said for both men. They see this as a fight here tonight. They see each other as worthy opponents, but they also see them as what is between them and the opportunity to be Intercontinental Champion. I mean, let's be real here. You go through really the three that are left: Owens, Big E, and Priest. If you're Intercontinental Champion Kota Ibushi, you might not fancy your chances against any of them, but we will see just who will more than likely be facing Kevin Owens next week on this blue brand, as they tie up here the two big men. The action can finally get underway on what has been a chaotic and a bit of a out of left field start for an episode of SmackDown. Talking can be put to one side for the time being. It is now time for the action to deliver here, and there is no better way than to start things off on an episode of SmackDown than with two big men like these guys are, hitting each other across that ring. And look at Big E. He isn't going to send Damien Priest across said ring. Big time offense from Big E, as this matchup now can finally start to get underway, and we can welcome you all in for another edition of SmackDown here tonight. Plenty to look forward to. We'll be checking in with Trish Stratus and her training ahead of her final match of her career against the boss Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. She alluded to having needing to learn something new the last time we saw it, and tonight we're going to see what that was all about. And of course we got that number one contenders match between Nikki Cross and Becky Lynch, which I'm sure is going to be, well, chaotic if Nikki Cross is involved in it. And then our main event of the evening between Jay White and Robert Roode. The mind games will be abound between those two, but there are certainly no mind games in this contest, as Priest drives the face and the body of Big E into the mat from up on his shoulders. The cover is made as Priest knocked off Big E, you know. Only good for a count of two, and check that out. Big E stalling himself back up to his feet here, trying to get right back into the offense, but taken down with a Falcon Arrow by Damien Priest, who just looks a little bit more poised and controlled here in this one over Big E. Seems a little bit more collected of his bearings, and he's able to take it to Big E now. I wonder if Jon Moxley ending up in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania has sort of given a momentum boost for Damien Priest to want to do the same here as well. That could very well be the case as Priest covers off of a nasty back suplex there, but still can't put away Big E. Big E, though, if he wants to try and put away Damien Priest here, he's going to need to find something soon. He is going to have to turn offense around and turn it around sharpish. Irish whip in the corner. Priest is feeling the momentum, though. And he's letting Riley know it, but Big E comes back with a huge shot of his own to show Priest he is far from down. Belly to belly suplex, rolls over into the cover. It's good for a count of two. That's a comeback move right there, though, from Big E, and it may have opened the door for him to keep on unloading here on Damien Priest. I get himself one step closer to an Intercontinental Championship opportunity. Heavy elbows, though, by Priest. Gets himself out of trouble on that one. Priest now, from behind, a reverse choke slam onto Big E with one arm. Covers him with one arm as well, but it's only good for one. Probably could have got more on that count, but he was way too nonchalant about it. Look out though, oh, top rope here. Big E with the counter. Cross body from the big man from up on high. The cover is made. Is it Big E? No. One count on Priest, who gets out of the way of things as well, but he couldn't capitalize. Big E may have nailed it with an elbow on the way down still. Counter made by Priest though. Oh! What a kick! Upside the head! Cover made by Priest to beat Big E. It ain't gonna happen. Big E has been in some wars the last few weeks with Keith Lee, to name just one. And he is going through another one here with Damien Priest in what has been a hot opener here to the in-ring action on SmackDown. Big ending attempt maybe. Oh, good counter though by Damien Priest. Just transitioned his weight, and it may have opened things up for the Reckoning to strike. And for Big E to be put away here. Looking for it. Elbows. Gets Big E out of trouble there. And a Bulldog takes Damien Priest down. Forearm in the face. Kick in the gut. Priest just trying to survive for a minute. But Big E ain't going to give him the choice. Big E! Good God! The dangers a man will take to be victorious. Big E illustrated them right there and then. A spear from the apron to the floor. Back in the ring we go. And Big E believes it's game over for Damien Priest. Big ending incoming. Now Priest pushes him away. Corkscrew kick connects again. Blasted him with it for a second time. The Reckoning will follow suit. Priest, from the jaws of defeat, hooks the leg and beats Big E. What a hot opener that one was on this episode of SmackDown. What a fight Big E put up. But in the end, the Reckoning strikes and the Archer of Infamy is victorious over Big E and one step closer to the Intercontinental Championship. What a win for Big E, but look out here. Talked about the man who he could be facing. Kevin Owens wants to throw his name in the hat right now. Face to face, Owens and Priest here tonight. Could this be a preview of next week as we crown the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship? Neither man back in town here. What a match that could be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again this week we're going to take ourselves to the training area where Trish Stratus has been training for a final contest of her career against Sasha Banks. Last time we saw her, Trish said that she needed to find an extra edge in order to overcome the boss and leave her career on a high. Well, tonight we're going to find out just what that was as we go back to the venue where Trish Stratus has been training at, and it is none other than UFC Hall of Famer, former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, trailblazer for women's wrestling and women's UFC alike, and of course former Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. Trish has been spending all of the past week training with the woman who called herself the baddest woman on the planet. And now we are showing you just some of the snippets of these two women training together ahead of Trish Stratus' final contest in professional wrestling and that new edge that she believed she needed to find in order to overcome Sasha Banks. A clear and definitive message being sent by Ronda Rousey to Trish Stratus, wanting her to leave with her head held high. And someone has been watching that very closely backstage. Oh my goodness, we are, well, from one part of the backstage to the other. Tama Tonga has got his hands on MJF here, and he is driving him into the Warrior backstage. Perfect sent a message to G.O.D. last week, and Tama Tonga's response is clear with a gun stun on the concrete floor. Chaos abounds here on SmackDown, and it's only going to continue on with one of the participants in this upcoming contest. as we find out who is going to WrestleMania to face the Queen of Spades for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Well, we knew that God and Perfect weren't exactly going to see eye to eye. Last week we heard Perfect telling God, stay out of the way and we'll give you first crack at the tag team champions once they win them from the Saviors. And it's clear that the message from Tama Tonga and Tangaloa to MJF and EC3 is no, we aren't going to stay out of your way. So be it, if that's the case. And Nikki Cross had no intentions of staying out of the way of Becky Lynch either, who wanted to go steamrolling her way towards the hopes of winning a 5th Women's Championship. She wanted to be #1 contender, but now if she wants it, she is going to have to go through the chaos and the insanity that is one old rival in Nikki Cross. Last year, heading into WrestleMania season, these two women were at each other's throats over the SmackDown Women's Championship. The title swinging back and forth between them on more than one occasion. Becky Lynch even costing Nikki Cross the title on one point. And now they do battle once again, a year on, this time to see who's going to go to be the #1 contender to the title at WrestleMania. It is interesting times indeed in this women's division. Shayna Baszler watching from afar as per usual. Cross knocked off Asuka last week with a sick ending, with a brain buster onto an exposed turnbuckle, no less. And Asuka has been listed on the injury list since then with a laceration within her head that required stitches to close, and a concussion to boot with it as well. We wish Asuka a speedy recovery, but now it is time to see what is going to transpire between Cross and Lynch in the attempts to find out, if we'll get it tonight, of who will go to WrestleMania to face Shayna Baszler. Old rivals battle once again, and here they go, and it's Cross out of the gates right away. The psychotic Nikki Cross not waiting a moment here to get things underway and to go after an old rival and the person between her and another women's championship. Let's get things going in that case. Dropkick evaded there, nicely done. Oh! Threw her head in there with some authority. Forearm shots abound here as well from Nikki Cross. Look out here. Reverse suplex attempt maybe. Lynch has her scouted, able to come up with the counter. It has been a long time since these two women fought each other, but I'm sure that they know each other inside and out as well, because they have been to war on many occasions, in many a stipulation as well. But it seems as if, it feels as if, in the past year since they did battle, Nikki Cross's mind has only got more and more psychotic, has only lost its edge more and more. And we're going to see if that truly is the case as this matchup wears on. Leg drop there by Nikki Cross, only gets a 1 there on the man, who is certainly going to the face of Shayna Baszler as well. Nikki Cross, on the other hand, has had her interactions mostly with Asuka. Now we wait to see what will happen here as this fight rages on between the two in the corner. Never a place you want to be with Nikki Cross, as we learned after last week. Nice clothesline off the second rope there. And now Nikki Cross early on here has the arm, has the neck cranking back as well. We got a cross face locked in. Certainly no pun intended, but Nikki Cross could be trying to get a submission victory of all things over Becky Lynch. That though is not going to happen. We'll talk about Cross and submissions, so think back to last week when she got put in the Asuka lock and broke out of it immediately, and now is sending Becky Lynch over the top rope and to the floor, and Jessica Carr's count will begin here tonight. And if Nikki Cross is on the outside, it could absolutely go all the way up to 10. Look out on the floor though, with an exploder from Becky Lynch. And Lynch certainly feels proud of that one. But Nikki crosses right up to her feet. Are you kidding me? Just snapped right up to her feet, and Nikki driving Becky Lynch into the barricade as well. And the count is continuing on here, where we're up to a dangerous 7 as Cross sends Lynch head first there into that ring post. And again into the barricade. Card count continuing on, we're up to 8, but Cross, a little bit uncharacteristically, they're restarting the count. Maybe she couldn't hold her rage back when she was around Asuka, but Becky Lynch, she's been in this occasion plenty of times. And she knows that when she's in the ring with, out of the ring rather, with that rival, she just wants to beat her. Maybe Cross does have some slight ability to control what's going on. When the matchup gets underway, look out here, Becky Lynch, lock the arm, pump handle slam there, nicely done. Cover is made, near enough the center of the ring. Has it beaten Nikki Cross? No chance. Only a count of 2 on that one. Fight continues on here. Becky Lynch, Irish whip now. She has control as this matchup is returned back within the confines of the squared circle. She's going to have to hope she can keep it that way though. Might want to tone down all the cockiness, but Cross is in trouble. Lynch is feeling it. Clotheslines, drop kicks abound. As Ireland and Scotland are doing battles here to determine who will be the #1 contender to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Safe to say these old rivals haven't lost a spring in their step with one another. The hatred is definitely still boiling over from their pasts together. Cross trying to pull herself up to her feet here, trying to get herself back up to a vertical basis. Lynch, one hell of a risk! Hurricanrana from the top. Last time that cost her the Women's Royal Rumble. This time it almost made her #1 contender. Big risk from Becky Lynch there. Look out though, Bexploder, nailed her! Absolutely nailed Nikki Cross with that one. Cross, though, you saw, tried to get herself back up to her feet as soon as she could. But Becky Lynch staying on her. Electric chair. Just trying to keep Cross down as much as he can. But Cross is too psychotic to stay down. Up to her feet, cross body, no one home. Lynch from behind, back suplex. Oh, great counter. And now an opening is there for Nikki Cross to capitalize. Sending Becky Lynch into the corner. This is not good at all. We're gonna see a repeat of last week, but at least there'll be a turnbuckle cover there this time. Brainbuster! On the top turnbuckle. Lynch kicks at it too though. The man stays in this fight for just a little bit longer. Cross trying to tell Lynch to stay down, to let her fight be over. But Lynch isn't going anywhere except outside of the ring. Cross had the opportunity there to go for the purge, to end it all right there and then. But she's opened things up for Lynch once again, who is still fighting on in this thing. She showed the sickening thud there though, with that reverse DDT on the floor. You can tell how bad these women want to be that #1 contender to Shayna Baszler. And you can tell how bad these women hate each other as well. Oh, back first into that barricade. Brutal. From Nikki Cross, who's calling Lynch to her feet. Is it time for the purge? Kick in the gut. Caught, spins around, Lynch has her, she got her arm, sits down on it, disarm it, but Nikki Cross she just broke out of it right away. Before Jessica Carr even had a chance to get herself into position. Cross breaks the submission home for a second week in a row. Oh my goodness, from the top to the floor. There is nothing Nikki Cross won't do. But she might well have done enough to become #1 contender here to... Oh, not again. Not again. Cross has gone for the turnbuckle pad again. It's exposed once more. You could have thought that she might have been able to go for the purge off of that and just put away Becky Lynch. But Cross wants to send a statement. Head first goes Lynch into that exposed turnbuckle run. Lynch though, she counters. Full out of steam. Oh no! Head first into that exposed steel. Knocked senseless and about to be knocked out. The purge is incoming. Wait, Lynch. She goes through. Covered by Lynch. Becky Lynch is #1 contender. The man lives on. You could have told me she was out cold on her feet right there and then and I would have believed you. But a fantastic roll through. Enabled the 3 count. And Lynch is going to WrestleMania to face Shayna Baszler. Oh no! Speak of her! The SmackDown Women's Champion with a point of proof from last time. Baszler assaulting Lynch on the outside. Driving her down into the floor with that vicious knee again. Well, the statement has been sent by Shayna Baszler here to her #1 contender, to her opponent at WrestleMania. Cross getting involved now. Cross putting the boots on both women. Nikki Cross not taking the defeat all that well. Down goes Baszler. Oh, and head first into the apron goes Baszler as well. Cross is running for the hills as champion and challenger. Assaulted by the psychopath. Becky Lynch may be #1 contender, but things aren't over when it comes to Nikki Cross. Our main event at WrestleMania is getting personal. And it is going to be personal next week as well, folks, when we have a #1 contenders match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It will be the duo of Perfect against the Gorillas of Destiny to see who will face the saviors of WrestleMania for those tag team titles. And on top of that, we will find out who will face Kota Ibushi for the Intercontinental title when Damien Priest and Kevin Owens do battle next week on the Blue Brand. All that and much more to come on next week's edition of SmackDown. And I'm sure it is going to be another big one, if anything has shown us clues of that here tonight. But now, it's main event time in Raleigh. It is Robert Roode versus Jay White. After weeks of waiting for his opportunity, after the mind games that have been played on either side, it comes to a head here tonight between the Glorious One and the Switchblade. They have waited. And in the case of Jay White, he has tortured and played with the mind of that man right there for as much as he can. And now, it reaches its head. It reaches its boiling point. In the main event of this edition of SmackDown, Robert Roode has said that he can wait no longer. And as alluded to earlier tonight by Kazuchika Okada himself, it is Robert Roode's business to deal with, not Roode on Okada. There is not a partnership that is not an alliance. It is two men with one mutual enemy. And that is clear to see here tonight as Roode walks alone into this main event. No Okada in sight, no backup. And that is dangerous for Roode, as Okada alluded to earlier this evening. White has already won the mind games against Robert Roode. White wanted Roode to say, "Give me a fight." Because he knows that Roode couldn't turn him down. And that plays into the hands of the Switchblade. And the boos are out already for the man who cost the Rainmaker the WWE Championship at TLC but failed to capture it himself at the Royal Rumble. Two enemies, one common man. Jay White himself. And the boos are out here tonight for one of the most vilified men on the blue brand. And if there's one thing that we know about Jay White, he loves it. He lives for it. And he is getting exactly what he wants. Attention. The boos ring out for him, and only for him. And Jay White knows it. And that's what he feeds himself off of, knowing that he is hated. After all this time, this was the true colors of the Switchblade. A man who lives for the glory however he sees fit. A man who lives for the hatred. All that time of White playing up to the paying audience was a facade. Because we are finally seeing what the Switchblade wants. And as he has said in the past, it is to start his new era on SmackDown and to become the real moneymaker. To become really the ace of this brand. And he's main eventing SmackDown here tonight. And he may finally get his hands on Robert Roode, who came charging in after Jay White there. And there's the mind games already of the Switchblade rolling out of the ring. Roode ain't gonna wait though. Roode charging in after him. And White slipped back into the ring with enough time to prep an attack there. He knew exactly what to do. And Roode just fell into his trap. But the fight can begin here with Robert Roode unloading with shots onto Switchblade here. Sends him out onto the apron. White counters right hand. And of course, just drops down. And it's like he's trying to walk out of here already. It's like he's trying to get out of here. Oh no. Roode went in for the clothesline. White ducked it. Oh my goodness. A double under brainbuster onto the steel part of the ramp there. Jay White has started exactly how he wanted to. Playing with the mind of a fired up Robert Roode. And using it to his advantage to take control in this contest early on. And now we get back into the ring. And it's Jay White in control here over Roode. Exactly what the Switchblade wanted has happened in the early goings of this contest here. Roode too fired up. Too much of a desire to go after Jay White, and it has cost him big time. Shots there from Robert Roode though, might be on the way back. Not to be the case though. White sidestepped him, kicked out his leg from underneath him again. White in, pump handle slam incoming maybe. Oh, nice counter from Roode, then floated it over into a crossbody on the way down. Roode now needs to make the most of this opening. He needs to make sure that Jay White is running nowhere. Roode has waited weeks for this opportunity. He can't let it slip away. He's got to stay on the Switchblade the moment he gets the opportunity and make sure that White can't run away, can't play mind games, and can't slip his way out of the offense. But Robert Roode has waited for many weeks. That glorious CDT onto the ramp a few weeks ago has only left him craving more. And now he's finally getting his opportunity here. Roode bomb! Big time impact. Leg is hooked here at Jay White, but it's only good for a count of one. But Robert Roode has him where he wants him now. And that is not good for Jay White. But it is plenty good for Robert Roode, who's going to follow up here. Neckbreaker onto Jay White. And if this is Roode's own business to take care of, well, he may have just evaded his way past the mind games and has been able to get an opening here on Switchblade. Look out. Full Nelson. Slam and a half there. Driving the back of Jay White into the floor. And it is all Robert Roode now after the early going. Shrug it off. What was a brutal double under brainbuster on the floor and fighting on through it because Roode knows he may not get an opportunity at the Switchblade again otherwise. Boston Crab may have been a mistake though. White slipped his way out of it and look where he goes. Running out of the ring again, getting as far away as he can from Robert Roode and jaw-jacking with the crowd on the outside. Turns around, oh there's Roode! Trying to come in with a full head of steam, missed the clothesline again. Oh! Dragon suplex on the floor. Folding up Robert Roode end over end there. Not a pleasant sight at all for Roode as his back gets driven into the ring post to boot with it. And Jessica Carr counting away here. Well, Robert Roode is firmly on the back foot in this contest now. He wanted this, but every opening he's giving Jay White, it is backfiring on him big time. And it is every time that he is allowing Jay White to go to the outside, the momentum is swinging in the favor of the Switchblade. Look out now. Oh, what a deadlift German suplex from the former Intercontinental Champion. What will White look for here? Oh! Flurry of strikes there, and now it's Roode going to the outside. But that is right into the playbook of the Switchblade. Right where White wants them to be. On the floor where he can hit Robert Roode that much more. But Roode coming back there, twice kicking the neck breaker onto the ramp there, I believe. The neck and the head of Jay White just bounced off of. And Roode recognizing that he may have made a mistake going to the outside, rolling back into the ring as quickly as he can. Roode, a ring veteran. He has been in Jay White's shoes on many an occasion, but now with the shoe on the other foot, we are seeing that there is a bit of a mistake within Robert Roode as he hits the move that Damien Priest hit on him a number of weeks ago, courtesy of a distraction of Jay White. And it's only good for the count of two. What will Roode look for here now, bringing them back up to that vertical basis once again. Roode feeling full of confidence, but he needs to stay on offense, not scream into the face of Jay White. And that's why it enabled White to get the counter there. And follow up with a Death Valley driver on a Robert Roode. Leg is hooked. Is Robert Roode finished off here? No, far from it. The glorious one kicking out at one there. Moves out of the way of an attempted kick in the back while he was seated. German suplex attempt is denied though. And right, oh, will get in one of his signature Saito suplexes. And ground Robert Roode once again in this contest. Up to their feet. Back to an opening. Brainbuster. And he follows up with it as well into a Dragon Sleeper being applied now. Roode locked in the Dragon Sleeper in the middle of the ring. The damage being done to the head and the neck, all to set up Blade Runner. Nice job there though by Roode. Gets himself out of trouble with a spear. A big time spear. Jay White taken down there in the opening is there for Robert Roode. White though comes back with a forearm in the face. Just in the nick of time before Roode could have put the pieces together. Oh, what a back suplex. The angle on that one there could well be enough to finish off Robert Roode. Your leg is hooked. Roode kicks out at two though. And it's a good thing that he did, but look at White now. Knowing exactly what to do. Chin lock. Slow it down. He sees Robert Roode is picking up pace and he shuts it down right away to deny the glorious one any chance of a comeback in this contest. Oh, but Roode, he's getting up to a vertical basis here. elbowing his way free out of that one. Nicely done by Roode. Overhand right onto the switchblade as well. White caught out, double AS in his spine buster. And might it be time for a glorious DDT? White says no, sweeps the leg and takes him down. And White once again goes to the outside, but Roode is in hot pursuit. White is trying to run for the heavens once again. Roode following right after him. And then once again is a doppelganger, but Robert Roode is having none of it. Glorious DDT to a sycophant Jay White, and it gave the opening. It gave the opening that White wanted. Blade runner onto the floor. I have no idea where White keeps on fighting these men, but they do their job. And they created the opening for White here. He rolls back into the ring, knowing that Robert Roode is lifeless. Up to their feet. Blade Runner. Jay White beats Robert Roode. You had to assume there was going to be an ace in the hole somewhere. And indeed there was. That follower shows up again. Roode drills him with a glorious DDT, but he left the opening for the switchblade. No. The damage is done, White. The point has been made. Jay White with a steel chair wrapping it around the neck of Robert Roode. It isn't about mind games anymore. It's about finishing off the glorious one. There's O'Connor though. The Rainmaker makes the save. And the fight is on between Switchblade and Rainmaker again. Drop kick. And again, White scarpers to the outside, saving his own skin. But Okada certainly just saved Robert Roode's career right there and then. Wait a minute. Oh, not again. Not again. White just throwing that sycophantic follower, whatever it is of his, back into the ring, and Okada throwing him aside. Okada isn't letting those mind games work on him. Throws him to the side and looks into the eyes of the Switchblade. Robert Roode may have fallen for those mind games, but Kazuchika Okada isn't. And he is telling him that the business with Robert Roode is over. But his business with Kazuchika Okada, far from it. Okada makes a point. If you want to make money, you don't go your own way. You fight Okada. And there it is! The Rainmaker puts out the challenge to the Switchblade! Okada! Watch Jay White on the grandest stage of them all! If the Switchblade wants his error, he'll have to go through Okada at WrestleMania! And Roode is back up to his feet! What? What the hell? What the hell? A glorious DDT to Okada from Roode of all people. Robert Roode just laid out the Rainmaker. And Jay White accepts the challenge for WrestleMania. White and Okada at WrestleMania is on. But what has Robert Roode done?